else.
Okay, so you guys asked me to do this on the poll where you guys wanted me to cover the World Cup, and I thought I'm not going to do every single game. I'll probably watch most of them, to be fair though, but predominantly I'm going to be covering England games and any other kind of exciting games. So on this one, Tunisia versus England. Why was it Tunisia versus England and not England versus Tunisia? I'll never know. But either way, Tunisia was in white, England in red. Now, of course, predominantly I'll do boxing, we all know that. And England, football, Newcastle are my teams. So, the game was tedious at times, no doubt about it. And I'll give you like a bit of a blow-by-blow of pretty much what I saw. My opinion, you guys drop your opinion below, click the thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff, and subscribe, of course. So, for me, in the first 4 minutes of the first half, England should have scored at least twice. And with Sterling, I believe it was Sterling, who missed an open goal. It was a real sitter. But in his defence, the Tunisian defender did almost kick it away, and can only presume that Sterling thought that the defender got a foot to it. He kind of tripped a bit and fluffed it, shall we say. The Tunisian goalkeeper, he took like a bit of a knock on this 6 minute mark, and his shoulder was clearly bothering him, and you could see that it was only a matter of time before England were either going to score and he was going to get replaced or whatever it may be. And sure enough, on 11 minutes, Harry Kane scores for England to make it 1-0, and that was done by a cross by Ashley Young, headed in by Stones, but brilliantly saved by the goalkeeper, and then just rebounded in by Harry Kane. So 1-0 to England. Excellent stuff. At this point, I'm thinking, because England should have scored 3 or 4 goals at this point anyway, I'm thinking, you know what, we're going to trounce them 5, 6, 10-0, who knows, right? But it didn't quite work out like that. Anyway, a couple of minutes after the goal, Hassan, who is the Tunisian goalkeeper, he gets replaced by actually the number 1 goalkeeper in Ben Mustafa, and he had to make a decent save a few minutes later from Jordan Henderson, where he shot from distance, and it was a pretty decent save by Mustafa, to be fair. So anyway, on the 22-minute mark, Tunisia had the first real chance of the game, so England were pretty much dominating up to this point. But England deflected the ball for a corner, and ultimately the Tunisian corner came to nothing, which is all great. Then a minute later, Lingard, who played very well in this game, by the way, he missed an absolute sitter on the 23-minute mark. So rather than shoot square, he kicked the ball down for whatever reason to the ground, which then ended up bouncing over the net. I have no idea why he done that, but he did. I mean, how many times do you guys see goals where the player hits the ball, hits the ground, and it bounces up and over and in? Very, very rare. So he should have shot straight, square is what he should have done. But anyway, that is what it is. Then on the 26-minute mark, Sassi, who by the way for Tunisia was an absolute dirty player. He was terrible in that first half. But anyway, Sassi, he shot from the edge of the area and got a slight defection for a corner after a brief period, about a minute or so, of terrible defending by England. Absolutely terrible. Just couldn't clear the ball or anything like that. But Sassi, he got the shot in, deflected over, and that was it. The corner came to nothing, luckily enough. But then 33 minutes come, and Tunisia gets a penalty after Kyle Walker, who again had been playing pretty okay at that point, for whatever reason, he decides to throw his arm around the back of himself and hits the Tunisian guy and gets a yellow card for it. Tunisia get a penalty. So on the 35-minute mark, the dirty player in Sassi, he scores from the penalty spot to make it 1-1 after he shoots into the bottom corner, although the keeper did nearly get his fingers to it, to be fair, but still 1-1. Then Sterling gets a free kick on the edge of the Tunisian area a few minutes after that, and it was Trippier who took the kick, but it went a bit too long, and England did get a head to it back across the goal, and it was like a bit of a goalmouth scramble, but England just kept missing some clear shots for whatever reason. It happens in practically every game, and no different in this one. But at that same moment, England should have had a penalty, because Harry Kane got clearly wrestled to the ground. And I know that over in Russia for the World Cup, they're using some replays. Why didn't they use that? No idea whatsoever. But Harry Kane should have had a penalty, and Tunisia got lucky with that one. And to be fair, I think that, well, I say to be fair, to be critical, to be fair, would be the word that I'll probably use. The referee did seem quite pro-Tunisia. It's almost like every time a Tunisian player went down, and sometimes they went down like they've been shot, he was awarding them the ball. It's absolutely outrageous, to be honest. Either way, on 43 minutes, Lingard, again, as I said, he'd been playing pretty well. He gets a shot on target, or potentially on target anyway, which then gets deflected over by the Tunisian defended back. And then straight after then, literally 1 minute later, again, Lingard again, he touches the ball after being passed through, which was a very, very good through ball. And he just like dinks it around the goalkeeper and just at slow pace, to be fair, hit the outside of the post. So again, that was nearly another England goal. I was up, I thought it was in, but no, it wasn't. And at the end of the first half, 3 minutes injury time. So, but again, nothing really happened. Played out, and the first half finished 1-1. For me, just to sum up the first half, England controlled the game and had the better possession, but gave away the ball far too easily at times. And really, it should have been England. Should have been 4-1 up at that point, in my estimation, at least anyway. But this is what happens when you don't have Newcastle United players playing on the England team. This is what happens, you see. If you had Newcastle players playing on there, England would have been 10-0 up at this point, but anyway, that is what it is. And the official stats are England had 12 shots attempt and Tunisia had 4. So very, very dominated by England. So England done well, just gave away that bloody penalty, and hey, you know what? Crap happens, all that kind of stuff, right? So the second half comes off, kicks out, and Tunisia are pretty confident, to be honest, with goal scorer Sassi still playing a little bit aggressive, just as he was in the first half. But this was pretty much it from Sassi. Didn't really hear about him for the rest of the game, which was pretty good. He seemed to go very, very quiet. And on the 50-minute mark, the Tunisian defender seemed a little bit flustered as he kicked the ball back to his own keeper pretty hard after coming under pressure from England, and the goalkeeper has to kick it behind for a corner. Now Trippier, he takes the corner. England gets a header which went straight to the goalkeeper, which was a good effort, of course. And again, Harry Kane should have got a penalty at that point after being shoved to the ground. So again, they're not using the replays too well, are they? And the referee seems to be pretty blind to a lot of this stuff. Or maybe I'm being a bit biased. I don't know. Maybe. But it gets up to about the 60-minute mark. It's a pretty even affair, I suppose. With England probably having more of the possession, but not much really happening. And but Trippier does get another corner, but comes to nothing. So at this point, I'm starting to feel a little bit down about watching what's going on, because England, they're playing well and they're dominating, and they did for like the next 10 minutes after the 60-minute mark, so up to about 70 minutes. England are playing well and dominating, but the final cross, and this is what's been annoying me for pretty much the whole game, that they, rather than take the time, calm down a bit and then place the cross, they would try and hit it as the ball was too far ahead of them, and the ball would always go, in my opinion, too far over. So of course the striker, maybe be Kane or whoever, always had to go backwards and try and head the ball back in, and it just wasn't working. So at this point I'm getting real frustrated, no doubt about it. But on the 68-minute mark, England do get a free kick, and Sterling and Rashford get subbed as well. So Sterling comes off, Rashford comes on, and Trippier, who has been playing well, as I said, he does take that free kick, but it just goes wide. So it wasn't a bad effort, to be fair, from Trippier. On the 72-minute mark, Tunisia get a shot on goal, totally against the run of play, but luckily it goes well wide. I mean, how many times have we watched football games, and especially with me, as a Newcastle fan at St James's Park, watching it, the team's dominating, and then the other team just gets one lucky little break, shoots, scores, wins, and this nearly happened. Luckily, it went wide, so it didn't happen anyway. And 73-minute mark, Tunisia, they make a sub for Sility comes off, Ben Amor comes on. And again, England are still dominating. And 78 mins come, England get a free kick on the edge of the box, and Ashley Young, who again, he did all right this game, but he totally wasted it straight over the bar. So unfortunate, we don't have anybody who's that good at free kick taking, quite clearly. A minute later, Dele Alli, who looked like he was a bit injured in this game, to be fair, and was playing okay, not brilliant, to be fair, but he did look like he was carrying some kind of injury, and he eventually gets replaced by Loftus-Cheek. So good, hopefully he's going to be fit for the next game against Panama. 83 minutes, Rashford, he wins a corner, and then it gets punched away by the goalkeeper. And then for whatever reason, the goalkeeper seems to fake an injury, quite clearly just to stall time. And this seemed to be the theme from here on out, where Tunisia were literally just playing for the draw. And the goalkeeper went down. On the replay, it didn't look like he'd been touched to me. But either way, that is what that is. And then a minute later, Tunisia make another substitution even, to potentially stall time. And that was Khalifa who came off. Khalifa came on to be replaced by Khazri. And at this point, with 5 minutes to go, and I'm thinking, England are they're playing well, they're dominating, but it's just that final ball, the crossing in, and I'm losing the will to live, and I'm watching them just waste chances with the likes of Rashford just not pulling the trigger at this point. And then it gets to 90 minutes, and 4 minutes of injury time come on. And I'm thinking, well, what's the point? 4 minutes. What are you going to do in 4 minutes? I know goals do happen, but, as it did with Morocco recently, when the poor buggers had a goal against them in the 93rd, 94th minute to lose the game. But I'm thinking, well, this isn't England's luck, so this isn't going to happen. 4 minutes, what the hell? Then 1 minute later, goal. England finally get a goal. They finally do something where a cross comes in. It was a corner, but an England player actually gets on the end of the damn ball. Harry Kane jumps up with a header, as I said, from the corner, and boom, 2-1 England. I'm thinking, oh, thank God for that. Just hang on now. I don't care what you do. Kick it into Rose, do whatever you got to do. And that's how it stayed. So England win the game 2-1. So they get the 3 points. And they've got Panama next. And then after them, they've got Belgium, who, of course, destroyed Panama 3-0 in the earlier game. So hopefully England beat Panama. They should. And then get 6 points, which should see them through to the next round, okay? Then whatever happens with Belgium is whatever happens, right? And with Gareth Southgate as manager, I'm not too fussed. I wasn't happy about him being appointed. He never did bugger all as a manager himself for club level. So England, I'm not too hopeful for this tournament, to be fair, but I'd love to be wrong. But England, they need to be working a bit more on the crossing. That is for sure. Those crosses are just woeful. They really are. And on top of that, England need to try and actually get on the damn end of the freaking balls. That'll make a nice change. And of course, taking chances. Shoot on sight sometimes. This used to be the Kevin Keegan Newcastle way. Shoot on sight. Guess what? Sometimes they go in. But either way, England win, thank God. It was a dominant performance, no doubt about it. But it should have been a hell of a lot more than 2-1. But I'm just thankful for the win. I accepted the draw, that's for sure, after a while. So I'm pleased as punch that England actually got the win. So good stuff to them. Onwards and upwards. Bring on Panama, get the 3 points, give them an absolute trouncing. And then do whatever against Belgium, don't really care. And we'll see what happens. So there you go. England beat Tunisia 2-1. Fantastic stuff. So drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.